Well, we've already said it. I was going to say, welcome to the official call. Bernard, the executioner, the alien, B-Hop, but really Bernard Humphrey Hopkins Jr.
That's what it said.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me on. I guess I gotta accept it because a lot of people still call me Humphrey now, and I don't have too much time in the day to try to correct them. So I just live with the name Humphrey. So if they want to call me the executioner, great. The alien, B-Hop, great. But Humphrey, I normally don't turn around right away. I wait till like 2 or 3 times they say it, then I'll be like, all right, okay, all right, hey.
Well, we're going to keep it down. We're going to keep it down. But anyway, welcome to the show. So glad that you agreed to come on. Really appreciate you. But let's get right into it. There's a rumor out there that you considered retiring after your first boxing match. Is that true?
Yes, because that is true. That rumor didn't spread worldwide or citywide, but it was out there. And the proof, as they say now in the generation, the fact check that is, if you look at my record, you'll see Clinton Mitchell in 1988, a decision I fell short, I lost. Mm-hmm. That was in 88. 89 and a little part of 90, if you look at my record today, anyone that hears this interview, they will see that I was inactive. Bird and Twin, let me tell you something. If you lived in America, which both of y'all have, that was a crucial, challenging, fast, everything, including money, and that era of generation. I'm 25 coming out of the penitentiary. 25. Mm-hmm. Consider it in boxing and probably most sports kind of past a little past your prime if you're thinking about having your first debut in Atlantic City at Donald Trump Taj Mahal or Trump Plaza. Man, 88, but 89 and 90 was crucial.
Yeah.
I tell you what, if things didn't work out, not just by me making the decisions, because a lot of decisions I didn't make that I had something to do with it totally. I still, in so many cases, not that many that I can't explain it. But that was a crucial year for me in the city of Philadelphia, a big city, as y'all know. Mm-hmm. In North Philadelphia, a fight city, but a fight area of North Philly. Benny Briscoe, Cyclone Hart, Willie the Worm Monroe, Boogaloo Watts. I mean, Earl Hargrove. Come on, Kevin Howard. I can go on, and Tim Witherspoon, South Philly, of course, but still, Philadelphia, the history, and a lot of other things that could have not been discovered if I didn't pull forward, if I didn't push forward, if I didn't scratch forward. All these things going forward, getting knocked down many times, didn't know with tomorrow what I really was going to do until that moment of having that vision that I had in Greater Force State Penitentiary. That if I could survive, and that's always an if, if I could survive that trauma based on my decisions, not playing the victim or the blame game. And as difficult this might be in society, 25 years old, got a GED from the penitentiary, not highly educated in any way of making a respectful number of hours of compensation for a job, turned down most of the time I applied for this, applied for that, based on the parole agent that was assigned to me, who had to make sure that monthly you get tested and you get evaluation of what you have done, whether it's a month, 2 months, 3 months, 6 months. Everybody got a plan, and they want to make sure you go by that plan and not fall back into the streets. And that was very difficult for the people I left. For the people I left out, from the people I left in 1983 and came home in 88, going on 89. And to see them in position, even though it was negative, and to see them in position in power, I really couldn't believe it. Mm-hmm. And to be in this position on this Zoom call, on this podcast, explaining multiple times, not my first rodeo with this over the years. And I know I've answered this one question long, and normally, if anybody know me, I normally do that, and I'll try to shorten the next ones up, but it's really like difficult to ask quickly and not let people understand that, yeah, man, it was a decision I had to make. From 88, losing that fight to Clinton Mitchell. See, I remember the first and last name, even realized years ago that he had passed away. Very decorated Golden Glove New York fighter. Badass. He was 5-0. I was 0-0 opponent. Just wanted to go ahead and do what I said I was going to do when I was locked up. I don't care if he was 20-0. But I learned from that. After that, in between 13, 12 months, before I rebooted my career back up to where I went on for 20 plus years, almost 3 decades. Twin and Bird, let me tell you, man, when this docu-series come out, and it will, in time, I've been approached by many people, especially through COVID. I call it the COVID theater. I'm going to say it again. The COVID theater month or year, when every time you turn your TV on, it wasn't a movie per se. It wasn't something that you would see different. It'd be all seen to become documentaries, and that's cool. But I wanted to wait, and it was some times I wanted to go, but the times and the things, and it has to be right. I know my story. I have receipts for my story, which is another unique thing, is to go through these years, young, with the dream, with the hope, with the you're going to do it in spite of, and collect these moments of keeping and harvesting things, storing things through my travels, talking to the Johnny Samples of the world who played for the Jets. Mm-hmm. We had a radio station, sports station in Philadelphia. He was a well-respected football player for the Jets, Joe Namath, the Super Bowl era. And Sonny Hill, known for basketball, and a lot of other personnel, people, respectful people in Philadelphia gave me a platform to speak when I had to. And I've been consistent on never giving up. Now, yes, it's easy to say, but not easy to do. Mm-hmm. I will attest to that.
Yeah.
We all, Bird and Twin, have one or more episodes that you can look back. It could be relationships. It could be business shit. It could be adversity. It could be, name anything that life brings you that you experience and you live to tell it. not just be alive, but you're alive here. See, once I understood my value and to protect this, because I was the most ignorant fool you would ever know. And I know those who hear me now or over the years, oh man, come on, man, nah, man, because you're looking at me now. You're looking at the success of me now. You're looking at the way I present myself. You're looking at, over the years, how I've been consistent, which people that don't know me, and most do know me, know one thing about B Hop. You're going to be in shape, he's going to be ready, and he have a conversation for you, whether he brings it up or you bring it up. He's being consistent, even in retirement after 10 years. And that wasn't because I've learned that through boxing. I learned that while I was traveling through the adolescence of a young adult, which I should have been through it in my teenage years, but I had never seen really my teenage years. I went straight to the big boys because I thought I knew it all, and I thought that this is the way to be successful.
Yeah.
On the streets, or on the streets.
Yeah.
And I lost a lot of good friends and family members on those streets.
Yeah. Well, the thing about it is, and I was present at your induction into the Nevada Boxing Hall of Fame, certainly was present at the International Boxing Hall of Fame. And the thing that really impressed me was, as it is now, how you spoke very intelligently, you spoke from the heart, and you touched people. And the thing that I really appreciated about you, and I've always had you numbered among my favorites, but the ability to give back. And when you brought Rudy Battle up, it spoke volumes about you and about gratitude and about reaching back and helping those and thanking those who helped you to get to where you were. I know Rudy quite well, but the story really is about someone believed enough in you to help you while you were incarcerated and help you to get beyond that and move on to become the person that you become.
What a testimony, Bird and Twin. What a testimony. And I'm glad you brought it up because I wasn't going to leave it out in this interview, this podcast interview, because it's, let me tell you something, man. Rudy Battles, well respected, well known, still in the game at 90 plus. Know his wife. Mm-hmm. He knew me when I was 13, 14 years old. He supported the track and field team in Germantown, where my sister Yolanda Hopkins, who lives in Montgomery, Alabama, for the last close to almost 30 years now. She's out of school. She's the third oldest. I'm the second. She's the third oldest out of 6 kids. And Rudy Battles sponsored neighborhood that I lived in, and he also lived the Free Block staff. We always seen a old guy, sharp, hair slicked back.
That's Rudy.
Always had
loved it.
They call a swag with him, smooth. Yeah. But we knew that he was a professional man. And then we realized that he was in the boxing and not just in the funeral business, in the service of burying people or getting people ready for their final destination, if you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So growing up, having, and I'm going to use the word mentor. Why did I say mentor? Here's a guy said, come down Sharpneck Street. It's 3 Sharpneck Streets. I lived on the first unit block. Then there was a block going across like a T called Bernard. Look it up. Then there was second block of Sharpneck. Then there was another street to go across like a T that was Cherokee Street. And then you had the third block of Sharpneck. That's off of Germantown Avenue. So it was Germantown Avenue, T, first unit block of Sharpneck, Bernard Street, a T, Sharpneck, second block, and then, like I said again, Emlyn Street, and then the third block of Sharpneck. Rudy lived on the second, I lived on the first. He used to always tell us, why y'all on that corner? And we scatter around. He didn't ever say, get off the corner. He always said, why y'all on that corner? He knew we either was shooting dice, playing half ball with the stick, or doing something mischief in the neighborhood. He also knew a guy named Mr. Jazz Jarrett, who had a boxing club for amateur boxing called the Together Brothers. Yes, the Together Brothers was an organization, like they have brother organizations now in certain parts of state cities, Philly, LA, wherever you at. Back then, it was Mr. Jazz Jerry. He knew my uncle, Artie McLeod, who Russell Peltz and Art Paluto promoted. My mother's brother. It's in my blood. My father's brother, Juju Hopkins. Sound like a good boxing name. He was a middleweight in the 60s and late 50s. Howard Moore, God rest his soul, matchmaker for Russell Peltz. You know who Howard Moore is, or heard of him. He knew my uncles. On both sides, I got the DNA of local, respected middleweight fighters in that time, 60s and the late 50s. On mother and father's side, their brothers, which of course my uncle. Rudy Battles knew my uncle. Yeah, he refereed my uncle fights in Atlantic City. And when Rudy Battles, fast forward, and I connected and more with my family, because he was a sponsor for the neighborhood track team. I said to you before, my sister Yolanda Hopkins. That's how long me and Rudy knew on each other. And let me tell you something, because it's been said, and it's been said before the fight. It's been said before they chose the referee to referee that particular fight. I told my wife, because even though she's aware of boxing in her family, I said, you have 3, maybe 4 referees, and both sides of the aisle, fighters, managers, etc., has a right or has a time where they can strike for any reason. That don't mean they're going to get them off, but they can strike and say why they don't want this particular referee. Rudy Battles made it clear, and it's been said multiple times, about our relationship. Rudy Battles was answering a call that I want to see Rudy Battles, and if he can please come to the state penitentiary. Yo, this is deep, y'all. I don't even think y'all knew this. But it's out there. If y'all didn't, y'all never heard me say it to you, to y'all. I said it, but not to y'all. I don't believe. And here I got a year and a half left. They had a boxing program in the penitentiary at that time. Look it up. Every boxing city and state in Pennsylvania that was under the AAU, they would bring fighters up to the prisons, all the state prisons from Philadelphia to Pittsburgh, and that's not around the corner. I say it again, from Philadelphia to Pittsburgh, Scranton, Wilkes-Barre, Allentown, wherever the prison's at, normally they up there in the woods, up in the farmland. Yo, this is deep. I got footage. Oh, yes. I got footage. Go on my Instagram. I put one out there already years ago. They still going crazy. I got footage because of the boxing team and those who still alive. They came home after doing 40 years. Smokey Wilson, who had life at 15, and he's been home 5 years now because the DA got him, let him out because of what? They figured they did enough time.
Yeah.
Rudy Battles visit me at Dallas, PA. Look up Dallas when y'all get a chance. That's way up there, and nobody look like us.
Yeah.
And trust me, you know how to move when you're in a strange orbit. I'll leave it that way.
Yeah.
And Rudy Battles came up to encourage me. And you listen, can you listen to this? A Y4145. Been in trouble all through my teenage years. Been through all the juvenile facilities. The minimum to the maximum security. Now you graduate. You go to Holmesburg and graduate school. You can't get no bigger than that. Even though they got 20 more extra ones from Pittsburgh all over. Pennsylvania's big, as you know. And I'm telling Rudy I can do it. I just need a shot. You know, I was known fighting in the neighborhood. That was my reputation. Here come heads. Here come heads. Heads coming. I used that power in a way that I thought was having power. I thought it was the right way. I knew that it was the right way. I'm around wolves and wanted a chance to be a lamb. I had a choice, and I chose to be the wolf, not the lamb. And Rudy said to me, I'll never forget it, ask him. He says it more than I do to people when they ask him about our relationship. He said, you do your job, I will connect you to a promoter, and it was Butch Lewis. Why you think that Butch Lewis was my first known promoter? I went back to that cell after he put $20 on the books.
Yep.
I went back to that cell, energized. You gotta remember, I came home 25 years old. I'm in my maybe 23, 24 almost, or 22, 23. Can you imagine the energy I had going back to that prison with 18,000 inmates? And now I got this energy with a year and a half left, with a plan to be the champion of the world in middleweight. I followed Hagler. We allowed to order a magazine once a month. I used to take out the rag magazine. I made a collage in a scrapbook. I have that scrapbook today. Guess who's on front of it? Marvin Hagler and Tommy Hearns. And I believe they fought 1984 or 85. I remember those lessons of how he stayed ready. It's so many things that I don't have enough time to even tell you that really read 360 degrees. It came right back to me because I got a chance, man, for years for Hagler to come to my fights and come in the ring and hand me the ring belt. Got pictures of it.
Yeah.
Here's a guy, I'm in the cell saying I'm going to be a champ. I got a homemade scrapbook, made a collage out of it. I got Hagler and Hearns, the best 3 rounds of boxing ever to the day. And And I said one thing, he stayed ready. He didn't have to get ready. Now y'all know, not a secret, that was an inspiration to me. So fast forward. How and why do I use an example for young fighters and young people in boxing on every side, judge, referee, whatever side you on, understand and learn from the best. Learn from the past, which is history. See, we haven't learned our history in a whole of people. That's why we in this condition. Now that can go a lot of places. I'll leave it like that. Intelligence, not that you're not, or those who not, will understand that in some, what are you talking about? You must know yourself. Wherever lane that you are in, sports, culture, business, you must educate yourself to know who you are. And once you realize that and understand that that is real, that's when you will understand Bernard Hopkins' story. You will understand my travels. You will understand why I didn't fall victim to giving up. See, giving up to me is a victim. That means they won. That means it won. What is it? Whoever. And that doesn't mean you're going to come out victorious all the time, but that doesn't mean you're going to come out defeated. And these are the things that not only do I speak when I have to, but I think the best education is someone that's there, have done it, that you can see, that you can hear, that you can talk to, and you can feel if that's something that you are close to and you're fortunate and you are blessed to be someone that can be in the presence of greatness, of a referee, of a judge, of someone that's in position that you will one day want to be. Everybody's spot is going to be somebody's spot later. I say that again. Everybody's spot that they're in, whatever it is. We ain't just talking about boxing.
And Bernard, I've in my career, the person that was in that spot prior to me getting into that spot was Richard Steele, because Richard Steele was my mentor. And during that time of my upbringing as a referee, Rudy Battle was one of the referees that I paid attention to. Larry Hazard was another referee that I paid attention to. And getting the brain, did the fight of the century.
Zach Clayton.
With Frazier and Ali, the fight of the year.
Yeah. Was it Zach Clayton?
It wasn't Zach Clayton.
Rudy Padilla?
It wasn't Rudy Padilla. I'll think of it. But anyway, and I'll say this before I forget it. My brother wanted me to do a shout out of love to you, as well as my wife, because my wife, you was one of her favorites.
Thanks.
My first big super fight, B-Hop, was when I did you and Oscar De La Hoya. That was my first super fight. And when I went into your dressing room, I don't know if you remember this.
September 18th, 2004.
September 18th, 2004. You was sitting in the dressing room at the MGM, and you was laid back and so cool and relaxed. And I came in and gave the instructions, and somebody walked into the dressing room that dealt with television, and you looked up at him and said, "I'm going to win an Oscar tonight."
Yes. I remember it very well. I remember that quote. It was catchy. It came right off my instincts. And that Oscar was is still on my mantelpiece.
Yes, and I'll tell you this, B-Hop, when you do that body shot and drop De La Hoya, I was on your backside. I could see you throw the punch, but I didn't actually see where it landed. So when Oscar went down, I did my normal do. I sent you to the neutral corner, and I went over and I started counting Oscar with my mind thinking that he was going to get up. And he didn't get up. And while I'm counting, I'm saying to myself, oh, Lord, I sure hope that body punch was clean. Because if it was live, I'm in big trouble. So when the corners jumped in the ring and I counted Oscar out, I walked back to my neutral corner and I'm standing there and I'm looking for the monitor to show that that left hook that you threw was above the belt line. And when the monitor did show it, I was relieved like a big dog because if that punch had went below the belt line, I would have been
crucified.
Yeah. But you did a fantastic job in the fight. I thought Oscar, up until that body shot, was doing a fantastic job. But
I believe that I had to close the gap. We talked about it, and I say we, me and Oscar, multiple times, laughed, joked. And I listen, coming up from a weight division, you dare to be great. That's the chance you take. You win, it's not mentioned. You lose, then they mention it. Bud Crawford is doing something very special. He's attempting to do something very special with Canelo Alvarez.
Yes.
That's the full belt era. And one of the most credible media outlet put up a chart of people. And this is what I'm talking about, setting the trend. This is what I'm talking about, setting the stage. And like you said, Richard Steele was your mentor. To see of all I've done, and I look and see the full belt era, who started the full belt era? And guess whose name was up there 2 days ago? The first name up there. Just guess.
Your name.
Because of the De La Hoya fight. See, if you remember, De La Hoya lost a close decision. I thought he squeaked it out, but I think the last 2 rounds, by not fighting, he fell victim to, he lost to Trinidad. Now, of course, I have already beaten Trinidad, so Oscar wanted to clean the Trinidad fight up, or the decision up, by fighting the old man. You know, I've been old since 25. And Oscar, through Bob Arum, my team got a call that came out of nowhere. Wasn't anonymous, but it came out of nowhere, and they were serious. We didn't think it was a serious call, and it turned out, as you know, it becomes serious. One of my, if not the biggest payday, and the relationship that it brought 20 years later, that it formed from that fight, the Golden Boy promotion. Did it hit underneath the elbow? What I mean, the left hook, absolutely. Was it planned and calculated once I put the pressure as the rounds was going by? Yes. Bowie Fisher in my corner with Brother Nazim, God rest both of their souls, said, you got to close the gap, son. You got to close the gap, son. I knew what that meant.
Yeah.
I knew for a fact, fighting Oscar De La Hoya, the Golden Boy.
Yep.
I knew that I couldn't leave it up to the judges. And what I wanted to do is make it crowded and uncomfortable. When that happens to your opponent, or any opponent in any situation, they panic and they react to everything that I would do, which he did. So, and I'll leave everybody watch this. They're going to do this. I want them to go there and they'll see the technician. They'll see and they'll learn, especially the young fighters, man. I'm still teaching no matter what. they would see how I came in and I stutter stepped and I came in. And as soon as he threw a punch, just out of nervousness, out of here he come, because I'm coming close, but he don't know if I'm coming, if I don't come in. And as soon as I fake it, he threw a punch just to get me out of the way, but not hit me per se. While he threw, I punch. Anybody know about contact sports, karate, any kind of martial arts, anything to do with the guy who committed himself to do something to you, he leaves himself open. Same do I. When I leave myself open, when I throw a punch, everybody is vulnerable to get countered. And I timed it beautiful. I planned it round or two before. He reacted. Okay, I'm going to set him up. I'm going to get it. And the right time in the right place, and it was up.
Yeah.
It wasn't no boom. It wasn't this. It knocked the wind. And look, anybody that can experience getting the wind knocked out of you. Maybe you played football in college. Maybe you played football in high school. Hey, maybe you played football on the streets of Philadelphia or wherever you live, and you got the wind knocked out of you. Mm-hmm. Anybody that would hear this and say, hey, I got my wind knocked out of me and I know how I feel. Trust me, you need time to recover.
Yep.
I'd rather get hit and dizzy where I can shake it off or maybe move around and stay away from the referee until I get my head together, walk to the other side of the ring. Y'all know how it go. But to get hit in the liver.
Yeah.
To get hit in the liver is pretty impressive to get up and fight like it didn't happen.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're not physically capable to pull it off.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Now, it brings me to a situation and something that I know about you. Recently, we had a young man who was on the rise, Keyshawn Davis. Had a fight, didn't make weight. And I said, how sad that is when you know months before the fight what weight you're supposed to come in on. Now, I know that you, in your career, would walk around, I've been told, no more than 5 to 8 pounds over your fighting weight. And what that allowed you to do when you went to camp was focus on the strategy for the fight rather than having to worry about making weight. Mm-hmm. Why hasn't that lesson been passed down?
Microwave society with a fast growing of trainers and not teachers. In the industry, we have less teachers and more hype men and trainers. Hey, look, you can go to a lot of fitness centers in every state in America and get a fitness trainer. And most of them can tell you how to throw a jab, throw a right hand, but that's not what they do. See, a teacher will not only teach you the sweet science, but they will also teach you the things outside of the physical, means that they will let you know based on them keeping a track of the rounds you do, preparing for a fight, or just staying sharp, not peaking, not burning up every day with no agenda. No. There are times there's going to be agendas, means you have a fight date. There's times you're not going to have an agenda because there's no fight date, but you still have to come in the gym, train, and keep your weight stable enough where you can have some spots here and there of training, of combat, of physical combat in the ring, and this staying sharp. That's not happening today. See, you can't blame the student for being uneducated or can't read or write. You have to blame the teacher, because the teacher has to know. Sooner or later, they should understand that those kids, 5 of them is behind. Somebody at the helm is not paying attention, or they don't care. And a lot of it is because a lot of trainers who haven't did what I said an hour plus ago, haven't looked at the teachers that came before them. They didn't look at the Eddie Futches. They didn't look at the Bowie Fishers. They didn't look at the Yank Dorn. They didn't look at the Buddy McGirts.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. They didn't look at the doovers. They didn't look at taking a piece of recipe. You know what a recipe means? A recipe means not one ingredient. It means ingredients, more than one. Recipes. So you have that S at the end, mean more than one. So let's see what the recipe tastes like. Let's see if the trainer and the fighter, let's see if they mush together. Let's see if the respect level is there. This man in trained 10 world champions. This man didn't elevate a contender up to a champion for the last 23 years. There are a lot of trainers, and they don't know what to say when they're in the corner. Now, take this, listen. They ain't got to believe me. The next fight that, I don't care if it's the big super fight or a non-super fight, just listen to the instructions. And while you're doing that, the most important thing is, while you listen to what is told to the fighter, you look at the fight itself and be like, it's telling him the opposite. And that's not a big percentage like that. But I'll say it's a percentage enough to be concerned about, because, well, I'll say it's 25% out of 100. And assume it's probably going to be more, because if that's the way that the game is churned around, then now there's more hype in the corner than actually teaching the sweet science. And I'm not, when people start talking about the sweet science and the technical stuff, they think you got to go back in the 50s. Nobody's fighting like that. Listen, just like basketball, just like football, things elevate. The game is different. It's faster. The athletes are stronger. But the boxing game of information from the teachers will let them know why, and not just tell them to do this and do that. Why you should do this. You see why you should do that. You see why you shouldn't do that. These are the things that we all know. And I'm the youngest on this Zoom call. Not that much young, but the youngest. I was taught this. I'm only telling y'all I'm guilty of what I was told. And I don't mean guilty of wrong. I'm talking about, if I'm going to be accused of don't know what I'm talking about, and I get these fools every now and then that would think that, but then I said, look at the track record. Look at the culture every 10 years in boxing. Every 10 years, things change in everything, economics and sports. And right now, as far as talent-wise, as far as grabbing the attention of corporate America, with more than 1 or 2 fighters that you can say, hey, that division is unbelievable. Just, man, we want to see it's still grabbing itself out the hole, pulling itself out the hole, and grabbing at ropes to try to at least say that we deserve to be respected, but we can't just keep saying it. We've been saying it already. It has to be done. And that's when boxing is really going to blossom again, where you get the teachers letting the fighters know that they're being taught now, not trained. And there's a difference between training and teaching.
I just got a comment, and then I'm gonna let Bird ask the next question. I was so impressed when you fought Felix Trinidad, how well you took control of the fight, how well you were able to just maneuver around him, and Felix Trinidad is no joke. But you took total control. You did whatever you chose to do, and it was. I mean, they had to.
You took away what he did best.
Yes.
Yeah. You took away what he did best.
Yes, just took it away, and that's what I said in being in the ring with you. But in that fight, seeing how well you did, taking him apart, you took him apart. Said to me how great of a fighter you was.
Yeah. Yeah.
I disarmed him, Bird. Bird.
Yeah.
You ever in a situation, whether it's danger or anything that is not going to be good for you, while you in that moment, you got two things to do: either run or disarm that enemy.
Yep.
I disarmed Felix Trinidad by taking with what he's been great at, and what others couldn't stop.
Mm-hmm.
I disarmed them, twin.
Yep.
And disarming him didn't mean, because he didn't retreat, surrender to me. He kept having a world of tug of war, round by round by round. But I stayed persistent. I stayed on point. Brother Nazim brought sparring partners in, not only that emulated the style or the left hook and the stutter step and the setting his power punches up the throw. 1, 2, 3, boom. I better be out there within 1.5, 2. And then the left hook. That tennis ball. See, my wife eating an apple right now. This is a tennis ball. Nazim Richardson, who y'all both know. I've known. For that left hook. We disarm him with that left hook. That's Nazim. Execution time. No matter what happens, whether it's getting easy for you, whether it's getting to the point where you might be like, man, look, man, I'm going to drop the hand down. No, that left hook is coming, shoot, out of nowhere. Up, down, on an angle. I sparred for 8 weeks at Prince Ranch in Vegas. Y'all heard of that. Y'all know.
Yeah. Bones Adams.
Correct. My man Bones started talking to the day. That tennis ball, Brother Nazim, and I'm sparring with my sparring partners, and every time that ball fall out, because sometimes we get in a rumble and I forget that ball, and I need 2 hands, another round. Man, it's times I got out of there, man, during 20, 15, 12, when it was supposed to be in 5 rounds or 2 here, 3, because I had 3 sparring partners, but 1 alternate, in case one got a rest. You always got to have that backup, just like anything else. In case one rests, something might happen, whatever. So we kept 3. But that tennis ball,
right.
That left hook, I disarmed him, Bird, by having his hand here. And no matter what he done or what was happening to him, he couldn't get it in. And that's the frustration, because that always bailed him out. Look at it. Look at his fights from welterweight up. That always bailed him out. Fernando Vargas. Fights before then, that always bailed him out when he walked you down and stalked you. It's over. Bert, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Now, something that I think is definitely going to have a huge impact on the game of boxing. The Sheikh and Dana White are connecting up to get involved in boxing with their TKO thing.
They involved. They're not getting involved. They're here.
Yeah. Well, now what I'm hearing, and I don't know if that's totally correct, but what I'm hearing is what they want to do. They want to go back to the original 8 categories, the 8 champions. I don't know that that's a very smart thing. Personally, I think that's going backwards because there's a reason why they came up with junior titles. Because there are people who are 147 pounds, they can't make 154. Okay? Or there are people at 160 that it's difficult for them to go to 168. There's a reason for those mid-range weights. They want to go back to the original 8. What are your feelings about that?
I think that, as I said before, when times change, either you have really 2 things on the table. Do you change with the time or you stay back in time? Let's deal with both of them right now. I'm going to go back with time first. Start with that. With the divisions just being one division, middleweight, light heavyweight, heavyweight. One a cruiserweight, one a super middleweight, wasn't a junior middleweight, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
Given an opportunity as fast forward as decades and century went forward, it was brought up in history of boxing, especially in the weight category. He's not big enough to be a heavyweight, but he's not small enough to be a light heavyweight. So we created Bob Foster back then to be a cruiserweight, which Bob Foster never was. So we do Evander the Real Deal Holyfield. As y'all know, he fought 2 fights with Dwight. So may Allah be pleased with them. He fought Kwawe. These are fights I love. I got so many boxing tapes I watch, man. I watch a lot of boxing tapes. Matter of fact, look, while I'm talking to y'all. See that? Madison Square Garden, Sugar Ray Robinson. See that? October 4th.
Nice.
Put up. October 4th, 1940. Look.
Yeah.
Now I ain't just do that because we were on this thing. That was there when y'all called because that's what I was doing. I was watching. So I'm real to the game. But let me get to this.
Mm-hmm.
Let me get to the political part first.
Mm-hmm.
I believe that, and I was asked this more than once, until I see what they are planning, whether it's through senators who have been involved in conversations for the last month. One of them is Marty Flynn, who used to be, matter of fact, an ex-boxer, live in Scranton. I took him under my wing over 2 decades ago. Of course, he's in his 50s now. He's the top senator up there in Scranton, PA, who loves boxing because he tried to be one of the greats and things happened and he had to pivot. I believe that having those divisions is not going to be a thing that is going to hurt boxing. I don't believe that it's going to take away. I believe it gives more opportunities, and that's why right now I'm still with the old school, new school, means that they have one division. Now they got the junior divisions to give other fighters opportunity. Mm-hmm. And now a system wants to go ahead and go back to those one division, one champion, and take out that. Why can't both operate at the same time? You do your thing, I do my thing. It's funny that I said this in a different way of basketball. I remember my friend Ice Cube having a conversation about the big three. If anyone don't know about the big three, I'm going to explain it to you. These are retired, still want to play, still can play. Some very well. Playing in a tournament of 3-on-3 basketball. Y'all ever heard of Big Three?
Oh yeah, it's playground basketball.
Okay. But the one big when he first started.
No.
They oh my, listen, I already know. I got an inside track.
Mm-hmm.
But I want to use that as a prime example for those who's paying attention and pay attention. These are players that past their prime, most, if not all, who still want to play and have an outlet that never was there before until Ice Cube came up with this genius idea.
Mm-hmm.
Now, all this time in the boxing world, that some would say Dana White don't want to go back. We've been there before. It's not erasing what's there and what's been put there. I say, like I said to Senator Marty and the others that I've talked to in D.C. in the last couple of weeks, getting ready to see what's been written or what's going to be written, because I haven't seen it. I talked to so many people and they say to me they haven't seen it, but they want my opinion. So I got to take that kind of tricky or whatever. So you know what I tell them? I said, let me tell you something. Anything that makes boxing respectful, and some would say great again, I'm for it. But I need to see the details. See, I got the Fox mentality. I want to see the details of this revive or allegedly revive idea that I stood up for, as y'all both know. If you don't, you can look at that and see. God rest his soul too. Senator McCain, my guy. He invited me. I was getting ready to fight Robert Island for the 3rd time. And I broke camp 2 weeks before the fight. Yeah, it's documented. And also Elliot Spitzer from New York City. I was the main mouthpiece. Everybody know. And it probably hindered my career early on, but I won't go stop because I don't quit and I don't give up. I don't mind being a hellraiser for something that's good. But I believe that until we see the whole structure, other than taking away weight classes that won't give other opportunities to the overcrowded fighters around the world that want to be in the game or a champion or have a dream, that going back to the old way will not give them that dream, will not give them that opportunity. That's what I've been hearing. And Bird, I want to put words in your mouth, or Twin. I say, let's see, let's wait, and let's do, the most important thing is, let's react. Because if you react to something in a reckless and hostile and angry and not intelligent with the details and the information, then I would say, based on a little I know now, which I think is a lot, little but a lot, is that let's see what it hurts and let's see what it helps. If both things can work in the capacity of giving an opportunity to those who can't be a middleweight but can be a junior middleweight. For those who can't be a super middleweight but can't be a light heavyweight, can be a super middleweight. Those who could be a cruiserweight but not have to risk his life fighting in a weight that he's not really that heavyweight fighter. in that weight class.
Yeah.
Right. But Beehive, quick prediction. Canelo versus Crawford. What you think?
Yeah, think about that.
Yeah, that's what to think about. I have to think about it. I know you had to think about it.
Absolutely.
This ain't.
But let me say this.
Let me tell you. Crawford has a lot of control, anger of getting what he feels that he's been deprived of. The politics.
Yeah.
Hold up, wait a minute. This is his life that they played with. He held fast and never gave up or never came in and said he had a bad day because he'd been off for 15 months after winning a big fight that a lot of people thought he was going to win. He got a lot of inspiration going in that ring. And he has skills too. This ain't just based on heart alone. But Canelo, all these years and all the battles that you accomplished, Canelo, this fight coming up in a few weeks will be an important fight of legacy, an important fight of a legacy that people will forget about other stuff and remember this one. That's how big it is. And I'm not any of the promoters of none of these fighters. But yeah, I think everybody that's hear this will understand. But then they want me to say, well, who you got? This is a time where I don't want to be accused of having anything to do with it unless it's good.
Sounds good.
Why did I say that? Let me tell you why I said that. It's going to shock both of y'all. When this fight is done and we all in Vegas, and it was a fight that we both are surprised and some won't be. It will be technical, it will be close, and we will see a second fight. Let me tell you, it will be a second fight. A lot of people didn't want to hear this when I said this last week. And no, we need a prediction. How you going to force me, the Hall of Famer, Bernard Hopkins, the underdog of all underdogs? Because I said something that I really feel, that this is a fight of that magnitude. And it's not because they both are even up the same. No, they way different in their approach in fighting.
Right.
Listen, Canelo will be the aggressor.
Mm-hmm.
But Crawford, here and there, would be the matador. Matadors don't run. They step aside. I'll say that again. Matadors don't run. They step aside.
Well said. That's well said.
I see this fight
where
everybody's standing. 18 plus whatever thousand people there until the verdict come down. And some will be shocked and some will not be. This fight will come down and it's a close fight, a fight that me and you would say, man, look, I think he won the first 6. You say he won the first 7. It'll be back and forth. This fight ain't gonna be one of those dominant fights. I'm telling you, it's not gonna be one of the dominant fights. Crawford has to be more careful than Canelo. What I mean by that is he can't be reckless. He has to be on point. He has to be a sharpshooter. and they also have to be busy.
Yeah.
I like it as a draw.
Yeah.
When it get down to the nitty-gritty, it's going to be a second fight. And that's going to be the super, super big one.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And we need it. Listen how this sounds. Let me tell you, think about this, bro. Let's take all our hats off that we had in our careers. And we've been around the game long enough to know more than just what we did. Both men that I know on this Zoom call, this podcast.
Mm-hmm.
We needed excitement. I feel this is the fight. I feel this is the fight of the outcome. The fight speaks for itself. We know it's a fight. Everybody talking about it. That's easy to figure out. I'm going to be above and beyond that. I'm telling you the outcome is going to be so controversial where it has to happen again.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Whether we agree to disagree, and we know in history, and you're 40 plus years or 40 something plus years in the game, every now and then we get these moments when the unexpected happens, correct?
Correct. Very correct.
When the last time we had a shocker, whether it was a fighter winning or a decision, a shocker. And let me tell you something, y'all. Whether people agree to disagree, we're going to have that. I get it. Same thing in the political world. You're either on the right or the left, Democrat, Republican, whatever. We must understand what condition we was in before. And I'm not saying nobody's a savior. But these fights that's happening in the last year and a half, wasn't even 2 years yet. As I bias, my brother Turkey Al-Sheikh, my brother of passionate of loving fights and loving fighters and fights that people want to see because he wants to see them. This wasn't happening 3 or 4, 5 years ago, before the COVID years. Yeah, we got some here and there and sprinkles, but come on, y'all. The brother came to this country and said, this is what I believe that we need to do for fans to be interested in love boxing again.
Yeah,
I agree.
And let me tell you something. Y'all all know the money wasn't there.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all all know that there's going to be bigger fights coming. We already see some of the best fight the best, even though they're the second string, means the second top best before they become the first best. They're going to have to work for it. There's no free checks. You must earn, not give. It's not given. You got to earn it now.
Well, you know,
I would say, and I've said it many times, because we won't be having this conversation. I'm going to tell you right now, on my life, and I love me, in case anybody didn't know that. I love me. If the resources from out of the country wasn't influencing and wasn't there to make it happen, we might not be on this call right now.
Yeah.
Let's be talking about something else.
Yeah.
And the fights before then, the heavyweight fights that's been cleared up right now until you recycle a name. Usyk is the man right now, the cruiserweight that fights heavyweight. Come on, y'all. The last time that we want to talk, let's talk playing. We can agree to disagree. Men can talk and agree to disagree. And when it get off the table, I love you, brother. I love you too, brother.
Yeah.
But now, if you look at history, we have a Usyk who's not a bona fide big Tyson Fury, George Foreman, or any other heavyweight in body structure.
Yeah.
That represents what we know traditionally as a heavyweight. But how do we get there, twin? How did we get there? We got there through what? Making the best fighters fight each other. And let me tell you, with the old thinking that we've been dealing with in the last 30 plus years, sucking the blood out of this game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they're ready to pack up and leave for life. They don't care. And when you have a situation where the string pullers who know their time is up, they're not going to help fix anything. They're going to try to do any damage that they can possibly do to save some of their lack of integrity. And that's what we have now. So I say to my brothers that ask me questions and this, that from all over, because they want to hear my thoughts. They know I'm Muslim. I said, what they got to do with it? If you're wrong, you're wrong. You're right, you're right. If I agree, you agree. If I don't, you don't. I'm not fighting anymore. I'm done.
That you and Kermit. Okay. So, Bernard, we gotta move. We're winding down now, but there's something that happened a long time ago that we cannot let you go without bringing it up. And Kenny's going to talk about it.
B-Hop, a few years back, well, I won't say a few years, quite a few years back, you met my brother for the first time. It was at the Rio House. And my brother said, man, I met B-Hop. I said, yeah, right. What happened? He says, well, when he came up to me, he thought I was you. I said, yeah, well, that happens. I mean, we've talked about that. I've told you in the past. Yeah. Don't deny people if they want to take a picture with you or sign an autograph, because if you don't, they think I'm the asshole.
Yes.
So just go ahead.
But tell him what happened.
So my brother said, at one point I just had to clue B-Hop in because he kept talking to me like he was talking to Kitty. So I happened to be in the ring. So he said, Bernard.
That's him.
And he said, no. My brother said, Bernard said,
all those years.
Man, your brother got me. He got me in a way that I'll never be God again. Because I'm not calling you by your name no more. Your name is Twin.
And have I lied? Have I went past that?
You said it on the show.
I still don't know y'all between each other. So my thing is Twin. That's the safest move, Bird.
Safest, exactly.
That's the safest way to understand that, hey, I haven't got it. I won't get it if I didn't get it then. Hey, Twin. But that was years, man. You remember that?
Yeah. And listen, I wanted to touch base. November 8th, Golden Boy Promotions is got a fight card, and this kid Virgil Ortiz Jr.
Yes.
is fighting Erickson Lubin.
Lubin.
Yeah. What's your take on that fight?
This is the fight that elevates the next person. This fight here will be a fight that we're building to be the next star.
Okay.
Listen, the second string, like they have in football and basketball, you got the top of the crop right there. That's their moment now. Then you have right behind that, like Virgil, all them guys, they right there waiting to knock on the door. And even the other places, Boots from Philadelphia, Boots Henderson, he's a problem for anybody in any weight class, any promotional company. So you have that second wave, man. They might say number 2, and they are, because they're waiting to get their space, but they assume to be number 1 for those who passed the test.
Right.
That test will be passed in November.
Yeah.
Well, Bernard, we wish we could keep chopping, but we got to go. But we want you to come back again.
Yes, sir.
There's a couple of things that we want you to share with us. You have the Bernard Hopkins Foundation. We want to talk about that.
Yes,
and
exactly.
I'm doing a lot of great things, man. A lot of great things, man. And I want to share it with y'all, and I want y'all to share y'all stuff with me.
We really appreciate that.
Yes.
And we're looking forward to it. We definitely want to get you back again and give you an opportunity to talk about those things, because we know that those things are important to you, that you're passionate about them. And we also want to talk about, your efforts in the world of finance, education.
Which is important.
Yes.
Financial literacy must be in the Muhammad Ali Act. It must be in possibly the new bill of any sort. It has to be implicated in the conversation of fighters, managers, promoters, sanctioning bodies. We must find a respectful system like the NBA, like the NFL, like the NHL, like soccer. I know everybody just about in every sport. I ask questions, y'all. When I'm invited to these things, I have my little small talk with them. And I be like, damn, we don't got none of that. This is 2025. I told my wife, I said, Joy, what is wrong with us? We're still talking this nonsense in 2025. Is it? I mean, this entity is so powerful where you just talk. But
You do.
Bird, I'm getting excited again. Let's do that. Please. No, I'm saying let's do that, because that's more important, if not just important as what's ready to be possibly a new change in certain things, certain ways, and we'll see how those things benefit us before it happens. Because we need to argue, we need to fight, we need to compromise, I believe, in anything that's going to be dealing with change. I'm not afraid of change, as long as it's good change. As long as it's good change.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm with you.
B-Hop, we thank you. We thank you for giving us this time. I know we might have went past the hour, but it was all good stuff coming from me and from Bird. But before we close, we'd like you to do a little shout out to the official call. Just 5 seconds, 8 seconds, just a little shout out to the official call.
I got you. Hey, I had a great time with Twin, also Bird. Listen, they made the official call. It's official.
Yeah. We appreciate you. We're going to have you back again.
Yes, sir.
You got to make it official first. Respect. Had a good time, y'all. Love. Respect.
All right.
Peace out.
Much love.
Thank you, man.